This is the Anything But Banker to Broker podcast. We're going to be talking to some of the industry's best and brightest about the unique pathways they took before stepping into broking and how it set them up for success. Thanks for listening.
Thanks, everyone. We got two very special guests here today. They're both special for their own reasons. We got Joe Daoud and we got Charlie Daoud in feeding mode at the moment. Joe's got a bit of a unique story. Yes, there was a bit of banking in there, if I remember correctly, but you had to do a lot of hard work with your family's construction business, and that's really what happened before you ended up starting your own brokerage. So, mate, it's always there in your word. Talk to me about that. Like, what was that transition like?
I'm going to go even a step further back than that. Let's go back to high school. And the reason why is because I actually had this conversation with one of my family friends, let's call it, one of those Lebanese aunties that's not really your auntie, but you have to call it auntie. I had a conversation with her the other night. So we are chatting and she goes, oh, he doesn't know what he wants to do and all this stuff. I'm like, he's 16. He's overstimulated by the internet. You've got all these guys out there saying, get into crypto. You've got all these other guys saying, don't worry about university. Don't worry about college. Then you've got everyone else. I'm a bodybuilder. There's so many different echo chambers that you could fall into. When I was growing up, this would be 18 years ago now. Yes, 18 years ago. I left high school and I had no idea what I wanted to do. I was a really bad student. And not bad in the sense of I was causing trouble. I was a bad student in the sense of I was just lazy. Mm-hmm. Nothing kept me entertained. Nothing was fun enough for me. And I just kept getting bored in classes. Honestly, my teenage years, I was a zombie. I left high school. I was 131 kilograms. And I think it was the first time in my life that I had actually broken out of that cycle. I went to uni, did marketing. I was like, I understand there is a place in the world for marketers. I am a marketer myself. Let's not beat around the bush. Like everything in business is stemming from a collaborative effort between me and like the rest of them. But like I was there and I wasn't satisfied. But what I started to do was lose weight. I started to drop a lot of weight and I lost like 51 kilos in 26 weeks. I went from 131 to 80. And so many people kept coming up to me, and they asked me, how'd you do this? How'd you do this? How'd you do this? And I'm like, I stayed focused. I enjoyed it. It was the first time in my life I had ever been rewarded for anything. First time I had ever gotten compliments, girls giving me attention. So I became a personal trainer. Now, the unfortunate thing about personal training is, this is a funny one. When you go overseas, the business stops. It is not like finance. Personal training is a good and a service at the same time. And it is probably the hardest industry to crack in Australia. I'm going to say it's harder than anything. And the reason why I say that is I cracked it. I did very well. But the physical toll it takes on your body to maintain that sort of physique and always be running around the park and, always taking care of your clients, it is a lot. So I was overseas, I was losing money and had an epiphany and I was like, all right, what were you good at school? Because this isn't going to work out. You need to get something that's good for you. I said, maths. Maths I was always good at. I was always good at problem solving and additions, and just multiplication. I'd sit there and in my spare time, I would try and figure out what 33 times 33 was. That's my brain because I got enjoyment out of it. And then after that, I got into, I was literally like, okay, maths, but you need something with it. And Wolf of Wall Street had just come out. I know, economics. Even though economics and Wolf of Wall Street have nothing to do with each other, I was like, yeah, that's what it's going to be. And
it sounds right, doesn't it? It sounds like it should be.
Yeah. But I went to uni and by week 3, my lecturers had me teaching the class because I was finally excited and stimulated and happy. And, little did I know, going from bad student, I was actually just a bored student. And then once I had a few people backing me and believing in me, the sky was the limits. Graduated. And to be honest, I had absolutely no idea what a mortgage was when I graduated. I worked as a limousine driver because whilst in the middle of it all, I was working as an Uber driver. I was one of Australia's first Uber drivers and I was cleaning house doing that. So I did everything that I could just to be able to pass my degree and work for myself. I always knew I wanted to work for myself. And basically, I didn't know at the time. I don't know what a recruiter is. I'm a young guy, and nobody's actually explained to me that when I'm putting in these applications on Seek, they go on all these big dog recruiters, and I'm getting these interviews, and I'm like, I got a finance company call me up, and they want me to go work there. Oh, who is it? Oh, Robert. Oh, I'm not gonna. Do I call out one of your competitions?
My Robert Walters, I know who's going to be that. Don't worry.
Okay, yeah, it was Robert Walters.
Competition.
Well, I'm sitting there and I'm like, Robert Walters called me up, and my mate's like, that's a recruiter. That's not a finance firm. And I'm like, no, look at the job I applied for. No, mate, that's a recruiter. So she started to look for jobs for me, and I'll tell you now, mate, they did not like me at all at every single interview. Too arrogant, too creative. What was the feedback? Too cocky. Just every adjective that, pretty much goes with me.
Too present back. That's probably what they really mean. Like, they have a box that they've created for this role, and they've found somebody that they know is going to push the sides of that box and push it and push it. And it's funny, man, going back to what you said about school, right? I think a high school for me and you is probably very much the same, right? We both have the same overactive brain. And when we're focused on what we really enjoy doing, we get so much enjoyment out of it. But you put us in an environment where we don't. Same with me. I got in loads of trouble in school, and it wasn't because I was naughty. It was because I spoke to every person that I sat next to, right? And you could pick this person, that person, no matter what they look like or what sort of personality type they had. If you put me next to them in school, I would speak to them, right? And they would always say, "Oh, come on, I've got stuff to do." Like school, though, there was a lot of that. There was a lot of Call of Duty, a lot of Xbox late nights. I can imagine it's very much the same for you.
100%. Very proud to say that I've got no fascination with video games anymore. But sorry, can you hear those kids outside?
Oh no, mate, I can hear kids everywhere. Don't worry.
No, but I'm talking about super loud kids.
Yeah, I mean, I got one outside this room as well.
Okay. All right. Sorry about that. Like when you have, it's called ADHD. When you have, an undiagnosed form of ADHD, and ADHD is actually genetic. It's not a learned behavior most of the time. You actually get it from your parents. Not a lot of people know that.
I know. I know because my mum has it.
So does mine.
My younger brother has it, and my younger sister has it. The only one who it's escaped. Well, the last thing I can remember was my really, really young brother. He's 18 years younger than me, so I'm sure there'll be some kind of. I'm sure it'll manifest in him one way or another. But with my brother and sister, the one between me and him, and the brother and the sister, like they got it really, really bad. I wasn't a bad kid in school. Like I got everything I needed to leave and go to college, to go to uni. Like they really are not people who.
Yeah, I was the opposite. I was a mature age student and everything. I got a 63.7 UAI, which is called an ATAR now. Man, like I just didn't care. And the truth is, if the unfortunate thing is, you will be surprised how small little things can truly affect a little child's adolescence and behavior through school. I was the youngest in my grade. And not only was I the youngest in my grade, I had the least access to public transportation amongst everyone in my grade. So for me to be able to meet up with people or like be able to travel and stuff, it was a proper mission. It would take me 40 minutes just to get out of my suburb. Like that's the sort of stuff that, number one, it taught me a little bit of grit, but it also like it mucks around with your brain because you're hearing about all these, oh, we did this or we did that. Oh, Joe, why weren't you there? Oh, well, I live far away and there's no buses after 6 p.m. to get back to my house and I don't have enough money for a taxi. Like that's the sort of stuff that we have to grow up with, But it also allows you to develop what you truly love doing. How was I supposed to know I loved mortgage broking? How was I supposed to know that I loved being able to do this? But there's some part of me that likes a bit of numbers and, loves being able to get people money and help them get into their first homes. Sorry, guys, I need to burp him.
Oh, so you think, mate? No, and it's the same. It's the same for me as well. Like, 'cause I was recruiting to the banks, and then I started recruiting brokers, and then I was like Jesus. Like, I became passionate about doing it as well. You know what I mean?
But like when you find something that you love, You know, there's nothing like it. There is absolutely, because you're no longer working. You are hosting a podcast. This is the best way to put it. You are hosting a podcast right now at 5:30 in the afternoon. I've jumped on to talk about it and talk about my venturing and broking. I have to feed this bloke. You know, my wife is at Pilates. I could be doing a million and one things, but I just love the fact that I've been given this opportunity to jump on, have a bit of a platform and discuss finding what it is, what my actual niche is. And I guess that's just helping people. And you're helping people too. You help people build businesses. You know, you want lawn? I got your lawn.
Yeah.
It's a quote Borat. Sorry, man. I'm just trying to get him to birth.
No. You're doing it, mate.
This is the most chaotic podcast yet. This is episode 2. We're already here. Sorry, man.
So going back to that, right? So what did your mum and dad do? And what did you see around the house with them growing up?
Mum was a stay-at-home mum. She always had her little side hustles at her businesses. So my mum is an absolute creative.
Yeah.
Florist, chocolates, desserts. Whenever like there's a Lebanese baptism, people come to her and they pay her to do like the decorations and stuff. That was her cash in hand job. You know, but she was always very, very, very good with that stuff. Dad, numbers. Dad was the engineer of the family. Dad was a builder. But he was the one that really saw opportunities where other people didn't. So, you know, he started building in Wollongong 20 years ago. And everyone's like, what are you doing in Wollongong? That's hit here. He's like, nah, trust me. People need somewhere to live. And if you could build a good product for them, they'll move there. And little did he know, eventually Wollongong would, you know, be very prosperous for him. And then Wollongong went to shit. Well, I don't want to say to shit, but like Wollongong became too expensive to build it. So he started building in Brisbane before everyone else back in 2010. You know, so he's up on the peninsula in Redcliffe and Woody Point and stuff. So he's really got an eye for that sort of stuff. So he's always been very sharp with that sort of stuff. But I'm the youngest of 5 siblings, all super high achievers. So you can imagine me. I've always had to punch above my weight and try and push and get my opinion or my say in. So it's been fun, but you know, we did some pretty cool shit this year, and I'm pretty proud of myself.
Do we have any doctors in the siblings?
My brother could have been a doctor, hated the sight of blood, became a software engineer. My sister Wendy graduated with a Bachelor of Arts in Teaching. Now she owns a wedding magazine. So yeah, go figure. My other sister, marketing company, and the other one owns one of the largest dress hire shops in all of Australia.
Interesting.
Yeah, so
there's no doctors and there's no lawyers in there, right? So even with you being the last of 5, you haven't disappointed that much.
Look, I married a doctor, so
okay.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah. I mean that actually does, from the eyes of your mum, I can imagine, compensate.
She's an eye doctor, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Are we counting it?
Are they called optometrists? Is that the real word for them?
That is the word. That is what my wife is.
Yeah.
God bless her. She is absolutely amazing. She gave me this little guy. But on top of that, it takes years of dedication and study. And to be able to go through all of that, the biology, the memorization of all the different parts of the human anatomy, like that is some serious stuff. So there are days that, you know, she'll come home and she'll be like, oh, I had this and 1, 2, 3 happened. And I'm like, I got my eyes checked when I started dating you. Like this wasn't a regular thing for me, you know? But it's just, yeah, man, it's, you know, doctors are they're the most dedicated people in the world. But in saying that, ask my wife what LVR is. She's got no idea. Well, she does now, but like she never used to.
Yeah.
You know, so it's
you're moaning about it. I'll say because she's staying listening to you complaining about stuff. I thought she thinks it's secondhand.
Probably. There's been less complaining lately, so it's been good, man. Thank God.
And how are the 3 a.m. gym sessions going? Are they still very much a thing?
I did one last night. I will let you know.
Yeah.
I love my routine. I've had so many people knock it. I've had so many people be like, does he actually wake up at that time and stuff? The truth of the matter is, yes. I'm usually in bed by 8 p.m. And I wake up at 3. But ever since we got Charlie, 8 p.m. doesn't really happen anymore. We've got to wait until about 9, 10, 11. I remember his first 3 a.m. wake up. We had just gotten him home and he wouldn't sleep with anyone but me. So he wouldn't sleep with my wife, wouldn't sleep with my mother-in-law, my sister, no one. He just wanted to sleep in bed with me. I was the only one he'd calm down with. And I posted a video of us going downstairs and making a bottle. At 3 in the morning, I'm like, you've messed up my bench press time. And he's looking at me, he's like, give me milk. You know?
Fuck you, Jimmy. This is milk
Yeah,
time.
yeah. But look, I'm trying to get it back. I'll be honest with you. I'm probably doing it twice a week right now. But man, like if he's up at 11, I've got to be on. I've got 10 staff. Like I've got to be rock and roll. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not easy. I'm trying my hardest at the moment to try and introduce like a 4:30 wake up, get in the car, go to the
It's
gym.
not easy.
It's not easy to get into the routine of doing it. And my issue has always been, because I've always been a very fast go kid, adult, I've never put weight on. I've never felt like I need to change the lifestyle too drastically. Do you know what I mean? So whenever I start doing diets or I'm like, right, I'm going to stick to this, quickly I'm like, oh, I could do with a bit of sugar. I could do with a bit of, simple, nasty carbs to make you feel a bit better for the day. But you inspire me, mate. I'm never going to get a 3 in the morning.
Yeah, like I've been interviewed a number of times in the last few weeks. You know, I love just talking to people, right? And everybody's like, how do you do it? How do you do this? How do you do that? Man, I'll be honest with you. Like I've been doing cold showers and the Wim Hof breathing since I was 18. 34 now. I've been doing it for 16 years. This is a new craze that's popped up in Bondi and stuff. And everyone's like, have you done Wim Hof? I'm like, bro, I can hold my breath for 3 minutes. Like this is a normal thing. To me, if you want to get into the groove, you need a pattern break first. That's the biggest thing that you need. You need a pattern break. You need to be out of your current routine and you need to be able to shift and enjoy and then implement a new pattern in your everyday life. So, for example, for me, when I wanted to lose weight just before my wedding. So, before my wedding, 2022, we got back from the Bucks. It was August 8th or August 9th, and I was 107 kilos. My wedding was December 17th. Almost got myself in trouble there. December 17th, and I was 83 kilos. I lost 24 kilos in 16 weeks. The first thing I did when we got back from Bali was I went and got hypnosis done. Hypnosis is the biggest pattern break in the world because you're playing with your subconscious. All of a sudden, I'm scared of eating fried food again. I'm sticking to a diet. I'm sticking to a routine. I'm listening to the tapes, all that sort of stuff. Like people hear this stuff and they go, oh, no, it's bullshit. It doesn't work. Okay. Is what you're currently doing working? Well, okay, try something else. It might. And what's the worst that's going to happen? All right. You lost a few, okay, a few $100s isn't small money, but would you rather try and know it didn't work for you rather than not try and then just walk around like a sulky idiot? So no, this stuff doesn't work. Like I'm just very big on try everything and see what happens.
Yeah, and what you said about a palm-baked stew, right? Because I went on a holiday to Byron Bay, and that was our baby moon, I think we call it. And mate, every morning I'd wake up and I'd be like, I'm gonna go for a run, right? And I'd love to be able to do that here. I live next to the fucking beach. You know what I mean? I literally 10 seconds, like no, not even that, 10 steps, and I'm on the beach, right? And I still can't wake up every morning and go for a run and jump in the sea.
Well, yeah. There's other conditions that are involved. You know, Melbourne's cold.
Yeah. Well, yeah, mate, it is.
Whereabouts in
So not far from where you were staying if you was down in the peninsula. I'm in Aspendale, it's called. Aspendale.
I think I drove through it.
Yeah.
I absolutely loved it, man. It was the most fun I've had in so long. Like it was the first time I've been able to proper switch off. I'm even like today, you know, I'm still working, but today I was able to switch off and it's just the best feeling sometimes, you know?
So I've got a pivot to this one, mate.
Sorry.
Don't stress. Like this is why we got the questions there to keep me and you on track because our brains would take us miles away.
ADHD, guys, it's a thing. It happens.
It's a real thing. It happens. But it's also a superpower when you learn to harness it. Oh yeah. So what I was saying is like you obviously said, you know, from being young you wanted to start your own business. You know, you wanted to work for yourself, and it shows because you was a PC, which is effectively working for yourself. You was an Uber driver, which, you know. It might not be the most high paid thing in the world, but my God, like it's working for yourself. And you know what? I've done it in the past as well. I've done Uber Eats, I've done DoorDash. It brings the money in when we need the money coming in. So like,
It was the best thing for me at uni because I was one of the first ones to do it. It was 2015 when I was doing it.
Yeah.
So I was like literally like project, like, I was the guinea pig for them.
It was Project B.
Yeah, that's the one. Yep. So yeah, did the Uber, but yeah, ended up at Macquarie Bank after all those interviews. Yet again, I had no idea what I was interviewing for. Should have been fired 15 times my first 4 weeks because I really struggled to understand mortgages. Like I really was not enjoying it. I was sitting there, I was like, this is exhausting. I was scared. When I tell you I was scared to like call clients, email clients and stuff, but something snapped in my brain. I still remember I was eating a bacon and egg sandwich at the top of York Street. Okay. On my way to the office, I used to have the 9:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. shift at Macquarie. Other guys had like the 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. So imagine me, like I was the late one. I was not the early one. And a lot of that was because number one, I lived so far away. And number two, I was just an idiot. And then I still remember I was eating this bacon and egg sandwich and I took a bite and I go, you're either going to get fired or you're going to win. It's one or the other. So you're going to go in there and you're just going to learn this shit. And something clicked in my brain. And all of a sudden, I knew how to structure a PAYG deal. And then soon enough, that turned into a self-employed deal. And then by month 4, I had done $40 million in my pipeline, which was awesome. But it had gotten to the point where I wasn't taking leads from Macquarie anymore. I was getting so many referrals from the clients that had settled with me, which was, you don't hear about that in a bank. And then I'm starting to think to myself, am I one of the top performing at one of Australia's top performing? That's what I started to think to myself. And, there's always going to be people that are better than you. They're more experienced. They've got other stuff. They might know how to do other things better. But it wasn't so much an ego thing. It was more of an attitude thing for me. It was like, if I can figure this out, that means I've done something good here. And I still remember everyone on the phone was always, thanks for making it simple. Thanks for making it simple. And that's how the business plan came about.
Yeah.
But I still remember Dad walked into my bedroom on a Sunday night. It was October 4th. October 3rd or October 4th, he walks in and he goes, I'm having a heart attack. I go, what? Look at you standing right in front of me. What are you talking about? You're having a heart attack. You're fine. And he goes, no, I'm having a heart attack. Drops. Just drops. And I had to rush him to the hospital. He stayed with him overnight. 7:30 in the morning. Doctor walks in, confirms the heart attack. I have to call my boss. She was extremely supportive. She's like, don't even lodge a sick day. Family is family. Go take care of them. From almost being fired like earlier on to like a million times to go into that don't even lodge a sick day. Like, we don't want you to lodge a sick day. That was just, I don't know, it was such a massive turnaround for me. And then, yeah, my brother was working in Queensland at the time and Dad had a project in Goulburn, and to leave Macquarie and I had to, step into the family business. And going from an extremely white collar job to an extremely blue collar job, you're going from the city to Goulburn. You're not going from the city to, I'm trying to think of another job site, something in Manly. You're going to Goulburn. Like these are rough people, that you're building with. But it teaches you just how to adapt, how to communicate, how to listen, understand people. Everyone's got their own universe and everybody's worried about their own stuff. So you got to make sure. Pardon me, what was that?
Did your dad make a recovery after that?
Yeah, he did. He's we're going to see him for dinner after this.
Good. Because when you told that story, the way you told it, I'm not going to lie, made me chuckle a little bit. And I know it's not a funny story, but it was like the way you said, mate, I'm having a heart attack. And you're like, well, get out of there. He's like, no, I'm having a heart attack. But he shows his character, mate. Like,
I was stunned because we went for dinner, everything was fine, and you always hear about him, or you always, see him in movies. It's like, no, this was like,
yeah.
I think I'm having a heart, and like, what do I know what a heart attack looks like? I'm 27 years old. So that was definitely an experience. But after that project wrapped up, Dad didn't have another one. And that was a good thing because we forced him into retirement. We're like, no. And not after that. So he still passively works, but nothing over the top. And then I was like, well, I don't want to go back to working for anyone else because I now know what it's like to work for myself in a more of a higher level tier, especially in the construction industry. I was like, I want to go start my own brokerage. So that's when I went online. www.itsimple.com.au was free. The ABN It's Simple was free, and I was like, okay, this is mine. Okay, and here we are.
Beautiful. What did
Yeah,
your mum
so
and dad think about it when you did that? They probably didn't think it's simple, did they? They were probably like, hold, wait
my
a minute.
parents, mum has no idea what's happening. If I told
Mhm.
my mum what I did for work, she'd be like, what? What are you talking about? Like, God bless her. Mum is just mum. She just knows I work hard. She actually has no idea what I do. My dad, on the other hand, he always knew I was built for a sales and banking role. He always knew it. He always said it was like, you're more suited to this.
How much is Charlie got in the pipeline?
All of it. All of them. But no, truthfully, like I started it and then COVID hit. And COVID hits and I'm like, okay, this is odd. I'm asking people to trust me with their money, and there's a viral disease that no one knows what it is, and everyone's locked in their house. Like, this is the early stages of COVID. Still remember. And then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to produce educational content. Like, I watch a lot of educational content on YouTube. I'm like, yeah, I'll start doing some stuff for mortgages. And then after that, it was the Facebook post, and then it was the blogs. And I was like, you know what? We got something here. And thankfully today, we've been able to do something pretty cool. I love the fact that you had Muhammad on here the other day, and he's sitting around and he's giving me a shout out, and he's going like, JD, like he mentored me to help him with a deal. And I still remember, like, it's to me, it's part, yes, it's mentoring, but the other part is, Muhammad's self-employed. He's dependent on himself to be able to earn an income. If I don't give a hand, what type of person am I?
There's also the idea of like that client also needs the deal doing as well. Do you know what I mean? So you're still going to get some satisfaction from helping that be done. And I have a mate of mine who's a recruiter, and he does the exact same thing as me. But if he called me and said, "Mate, I have 10 broker roles to fill immediate help," I'd put my phone down. I mean, I wouldn't take myself away from my job. Don't get me wrong, but I would find hours in the day to help him out and help him get him over the line, right? Because that's what you do.
But that's what happens when you love something and when you enjoy something and when you enjoy helping people. I don't know. That's just me. That's how I've always been, and always try and maintain a positive attitude. Now, it does get hard to maintain a positive attitude all the time. But you get there. I'm not saying maintain a positive attitude. It's it's not even being a blind optimist. It's just knowing that if you put in the effort, you can get results.
Good things will come, 100%. Yeah. But that's it.
Mortgage broking is the one industry where if you put in effort, if you just put it's I'm talking about, like, as Hormozy says, just brutal, violent effort, you can do well, and you'll be surprised at the doors and the opportunity and the people you get to meet. Man, you get to meet some really cool people that are doing some really cool stuff, and you get to help their businesses grow. That's the best stuff in the world, man.
Great.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna talk about your ongoing relationship with the Prime Minister. Does he slide back in your DMs, or did you not answer?
So I uploaded a video last week, and my audio was muted, and I was like,
Let's hope this has not happened this time.
And I was like, what's going on? And my audio was muted a second time. And I go, surely not. And then I downloaded both clips and then uploaded them as separate videos together, and the audio worked. And I'm like, is my audio getting muffled? And I don't know, man. Like, maybe it's a glitch on Instagram. I don't know what I don't know. But to me, my issue right now is not so much with it's the constant lack of accountability. It's a lack of accountability. It's a lack of foresight. It's the get this stuff in now that will get us votes, as opposed to get the stuff in that will benefit us long term. You have to remember, like, I did study, my degree's in economics, right? So we study the macro and the microeconomics, and on top of that, I see Michelle Bullock and the RBA's building costing an extra $1 billion, all that sort of stuff. I see it, and I was so adamant that, like, you can't be saying these things to the Australian people. These are people's lives. This is their livelihood. This is their home. This is where they're going to live. This is their life savings. Everyone's doing it tough out there. And I'm going to tell you this now firsthand. I know for a fact, because I deal with people's personal finances every single day. People aren't, how can I say this? People aren't going out there and spending like they used to. You can see retail spending is down all over the place. You have a prime minister going and campaigning on electricity bills are going to be $275 cheaper. And then they end up being double the price. And then he goes, no, it wasn't my modeling. It was someone else's modeling. And then he's gone and said, oh, it's 5% deposit for anyone to buy their first home. I'm like, I sat there and I go, oh, no, this is a horrific idea. This is actually barbaric, because what you're doing is you're not clarifying, first of all, that there might be stamp duty concessions if you purchase for a certain price. But secondly, you've opened up the purchasing power up to 3 or 4 people. And if you've got a $250,000 income, you can now you have no incentive to save. Zero incentive to save. The person that's earning $125,000 or $100,000 a year, they were doing it tough. They had a reason to need government assistance to purchase with a 5% deposit. Now we're just rewarding whoever. Oh, you want to buy a house? Yeah, go. Yeah, 4 of you? Yeah, go. Buy a house together. Oh, okay, yep. And it's just, to me, we are not solving crucial issues at hand. Crucial issue number 1, there's not enough housing supply. How do we fix housing supply? How about we create a more efficient system to be able to get approvals through? How about we go, rather than seeking migration and increasing the migration levels, why don't we instead focus on making Brick Lane a core unit of year 10? Like, there's just so many small things that we could do. I had one the other day that it actually solved the whole housing crisis. Would you believe this? And it was one small change.
Sure, I will when I hear it.
Okay. So I was at a boxing dinner. I was at a boxing dinner, charity, and somebody comes up to me and he goes, how would you solve the housing crisis? Or how would you solve everything in Australia? Sort of thing. He put me on the spot. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, what would you do? Bought myself some time. He's like, I would reduce the capital gains tax on people who wanted to buy shares and stocks. And instead, I would incentivize them to buy shares and stocks instead of buying houses. I'm like, okay. And he's like, what would you do? And I'm like, I would introduce an incentive-based system in the council that you would be allowed to work overtime. However, it was KPI based, and that's what your bonus was based upon if you elected to go for it. Have I done anything wrong there? No. All I've done is introduce something that's if you work at the overtime, you got to hit your KPIs. You can't just slack, because we all know that the government slacks as much as they possibly can. But if you do work the overtime, guess what? You can earn some more money. No one's salary is changing. No one's getting paid more for less work, or no one's getting paid less for more work or anything like that. No, it's an incentive-based system where if you work some overtime, you hit the KPIs, you get the bonus. And if you don't hit your KPIs when you work the overtime, guess what? You're not getting fired, because we all know that nobody that works in government ever gets fired. You're not getting fired. Don't stress too much. We're not going to allow you to work the overtime as much as you did before, because you were taking advantage of the system. All of a sudden, you've created, I don't even want to say competition, but you've created a system where people actually sit there and go, oh, maybe I should stay back and get these 2 extra applications approved. So what we've done is we've created an incentive-based system where Labor voters are happy. You've got council workers that are extremely happy. You've got builders that are happy. You've got conservatives that won't have an issue with it. And what have we done? We've done one small change. We've introduced an overtime KPI-based system. And people ask me all the time, would that actually fix the housing economy? I'm not saying nothing's going to fix this housing economy, but it might improve efficiency by about 15%. And if we can get 15% extra, that might help.
Do you think the Liberals would still go for?
They're a bunch of idiots, those ones too. Don't worry about them.
But they wouldn't see. They run on the platform of removing penalty rates. So there's one. I mean, I think it's a good idea. I think it would work.
What, to remove penalty rates?
No, not to remove penalty rates. No. No, I'm a big believer in the penalty rates. To be fair, like, especially if you're, a young student or whatever, because realistically, everyone's scenario is different. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, I loved my Sundays at Foot Locker. Oh my God. I was cleaning. I was making like $24 an hour. That was, yeah. I still remember that. No, look, penalty rates are needed. The fact that people are trying to say, oh no, we're going to remove it's just silly. It's just silly to be able to say that. However, what I do have an issue with is the amount of protection the government has put in place when it comes to the worker employer relationship. So if someone is a really, really bad employee, okay, a really bad employee, and you've requested something or they don't do any of their work during the day, all of a sudden they've got the right to switch off, and you're just sitting there and you're like, I'm a small business, okay? I was expecting them to finish their work between 9 and 5. They went and they had a 2-hour coffee, and now because I'm messaging them, asking them, hey, did you manage to submit this application? Nah, right to switch off. I'm just sitting there and I'm like, that is silly. It is silly. And, some employers take it too far. Don't get me wrong. I know that. Okay. I've been under that. But then some other employers go bust because of it. Yes, Charlie, I agree with you.
Yeah, there's a fine line, and I think when I was growing up, not when I was growing up, I wasn't that boring. But when I reached a certain age, and I was like, do you know what? I wanted to go back and study political economy as a postgraduate degree.
Don't do it.
No, I'm not going to. And I always past that. The boat's sailed now, mate. I won't be studying anything again. Trust me.
Yep.
I haven't got the patience to do it now. Like, there's no, mate. I'm going to do the diploma just to tick that off and say that I've got that there, just to kind of know what you guys go through. But anything that's tertiary, you won't be seeing me doing that again. But yeah, where was I going with that? Yeah, basically, my goal was one day I was like, maybe I should try and be a politician. And then I was like, you know what? I would never, ever want to do that.
No, I could never be a politician. Ever. For the life of me. I know I sound like, and a lot of my videos make it seem like I want to be in politics. Being a politician is one of the least rewarding and high risk jobs you could ever be in. Dutton doesn't have a job. I don't know what Peter Dunn is, but he's out of a job, because he ran a bad campaign. Now, do I think he was sabotaged and people didn't like him? Yes. But I also highly believe that, yes, Charlie, I highly believe that, anyone in politics is you're just asking for a headache down the road. So it's not something I would ever consider. But the funny thing about that, Joe, and I know you know this because you're a very smart person, the best politicians are not the politicians that want to be in politics. They're the people that are taking in, yes, that's right, kicking and screaming, saying they don't want the job. That's the problem.
Parachuted into the roles by the powers that be.
That's right, Charlie. But yeah, it's just it's actually hilarious that I agree with everything that you're saying. I'm sorry, man. I've got to take care of Charlie whilst his mum's at Pilates. Like,
oh, mate, don't stress.
But
you should be at Pilates getting yours on as well, girlfriend.
That is no way to speak to Uncle Joe. That is no way to speak to your Uncle Joe.
Does he really need an Uncle Joe? Father Joe, Uncle Joe?
He's got an Uncle Charles. He's got
Uncle Charles. Yeah, true.
All right, do you mind if I just walk a bit whilst we're doing this?
Oh, mate, do you think? That's why you got the headphones in. I mean, that must have been a bit of a kicker for your other siblings, unless they're all female, as to why you didn't name him after them.
Always, me and my wife didn't know what we were going to have.
Yeah.
We actually didn't know what we were going to have up until he was delivered. But all my life, I just wanted a boy to name after my brother. And, he came out. I couldn't see his little thing at the start. So I'm looking for him, like, do I have a boy, do I have a girl?
They usually come out head first, by the way, so you're not going to see
No, I know. Anyways, I lifted the leg and I saw his manhood, and I was just running happy laps through the labor ward. Thank God no one else was delivering that night, but I was literally just running out of excitement. It was,
So you wanted a boy, it's fair to say. You've got this vision of you playing basketball with him growing up. You've got with the little jersey on. Yeah.
Yeah. How'd you know I was a big basketball fan?
Mate, I do my research. Don't worry.
Yeah, no, I love my basketball. But, whatever he wants to do, we'll always support him, just as long as it's not hockey.
Yeah. I mean, where's the market for that in Australia?
Nah, there's nothing for that. But honestly, his mum, she's pretty impressive athlete as well. She ran hurdles for Australia. She was 4th ranked. Well, I'm telling you, I always tell everyone like who meets Alison and I go, you think I'm high energy? Wait until you meet her. I go, that one's got me in the back pocket, mate. She's doing everything all the time. Don't worry about her. 12 weeks, 12 weeks in, she's going to Pilates. She's, exercising. She's taking care of herself. Yeah, she's got more energy than me. She's another level, mate.
You need it, mate. You've got a newborn.
Well, now the funny thing is, I was a energized one until we met. And then because she was so energetic, I had to become the leveled one. I'm like, no, we're not doing that. That sounds like a horrible idea. It's bad for the budget.
Yep.
But yeah, man.
Yeah, that's not me. That's not me.
Yeah, that's definitely me.
Mate, so I like to finish up on this one, especially when I'm speaking to someone running their own business, right? Like the journey so far for you has been a good one. Like you've got 10 staff. Is that a mixture of offshore, onshore, or is that just your onshore people?
That's just onshore for now. And then we've grown. Like, we've got 10 onshore. We've got 3 offshore. There's a chance I could be growing further in the next, 6 to 8 weeks. I didn't ever imagine myself being in this position where I've got, quite a few full-time employees. But man, like when you have a cause and you have a belief, you go for it. I want to make finance simple for people, and I want people to be able to live and be wealthy. That's my motto. And if people have a problem with that, they got a problem. I can't do anything about it.
And I know you got some stuff in the background that you told me about that. I won't tell unless you tell. But mate, no, I respect it. Like you've obviously built a business to get that many people in the door and have that many people working here. The only way you do that is by being a good person from the ground up. There's businesses out there that have got 50 plus people in it, and 100 people, whatever it might be, that the people at the top that are making the decisions are probably not good people, right? But to build a business from 0 to 10, you have to be a good person, because people need to follow you. They need to believe in you. They need to trust you, and they need to know that, they're taking a gamble on you at the end of the day, right? Like they need to know that it's going to pay off, and they're in safe hands. So, that's a credit. That's a credit to you there, mate. A testament to you.
Joe, I'm going to tell you something. At the start of the year, I had 3. That was it. Didn't have any offshore. Didn't have anyone else. I had 3. That was it. And I had 3. Yes, Dad. We only had 3.
You got 11 now,
mate. I'll be honest with you. Like, my God, but you just got to push, and you got to do a lot of sacrifices. I would rather. And I posted about it on LinkedIn this morning. I got to fly to Melbourne, watch my wife give a speech, and I got to feed this little guy on the way while she's giving a speech for her career. Will she do the same for me? Probably not. But hey, at least I know I got myself some brownie points to go to the gym at 3 a.m. now.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right. We got brownie points to go to the gym. Mate, I hope this has been a very entertaining podcast for you.
It's been great. I think the only person in the world who's going to love this more than I did is the rest of the world.
No, don't say that at all, man. Don't say that. I always like to tell people I'm just a guy who just works. That's it. I'm not special. There's nothing about me that is extraordinary. Maybe I like maths. That might be it. And smidgen of ADHD. That's pretty much it. I'm going to go change him. Joe?
Thanks, mate.
Salute.
You're going to get to the age, mate. I got to say this to you. I got a 17-month-old as of, what day are we on today? As of
Today's
tomorrow.
the 6th or the 7th? 6th.
As of tomorrow, she's 17 months old. You only love them more, and they only get more beautiful the older they get. Trust me.
Are you going to get better looking, sir?
Yeah, you will.
Get better looking, sir.
And he's going to sleep less, and he's going to get smarter.
He's fine. Are you smiling?
What's going on, mate?
Sally.
How old is he now? 7 weeks?
Nah. He's actually a unit. He's 12 weeks in a couple of days.
12 weeks. Yeah, beautiful.
But he's like a 9 kilo baby now, man.
Yeah. Well, you're a big guy though. I'm pretty sure you're what are you, 6'2", 6'3", something like that.
Yep. On a good day.
On a good day, but you've trimmed down.
Done a bit of stretching,
Yeah. For me, it's I've put 6 inches in my shoes.
Remind me to give you a pair of these basketball shoes so that you don't have to go get the high heels anymore, mate.
Fitting me, if I'm being honest, mate.
I'm sorry.
I've got UK size 7 feet.
Yeah, no.
All right, mate. Well, look, good to speak to you, Charlie. I hope I get to meet you in person one day, mate. I'm sure you'll be a bit bigger.
He will be. But anyways, mate, I'll catch you later.
Respect. Take care, mate. See ya.
Bye.